But the reason why there's a crisis now is because the ANC lost the elections badly. And that's a reality which I think they have not yet understood, that they've actually lost the election in a bad way. I mean, in the recalculation that has been done is now that they had 39%. But whether it's 39% or 40%, it's a massacre. And that's the reality. Now, the ANC wants us to believe through propaganda that they are still in charge, but they're not. The people who are in charge now is the DA. And that's what
believe.
Yes, hard to believe, yeah. And that is through the making of the ANC, which has taken the power, political power, and the trust of the people back to forces that represent apartheid, such as the DA and the Freedom Front. And I can assure you, more than half of the people who voted for the ANC never dreamt that is what they were voting for, that they were voting for the return of the of power to the DA and Freedom Front, the forces that still represent people who were captains of apartheid. I'm not talking about a generation. I'm talking about people who were participants and who voted for apartheid several times. The National Party that brutally murdered our people. All those people who were torturing people and killing detainees are now being given power back by the ANC. So that's the crisis. And the political crisis is that the ANC knows that this is a sellout position and it cannot even be bought by its own constituency and voters. And the most important thing is that this deal is not about the ANC. You see, that's the issue.
Okay.
This deal is about Ramaphosa. The DA made it clear 2 years before the election that it was prepared to work for or with the ANC, Ramaphosa's ANC. They actually use that term, Ramaphosa's ANC. People think that term came from former President Jacob Zuma. It actually came from Helen Zille. Because she was saying we can work with Ramaphosa's ANC. That's why before they even had a deal, the first thing they did was to vote for Ramaphosa as the president. Because they wanted to have a guarantee. Not have a deal, and then the next thing you put somebody else there, and the very basis of the deal will have been undermined. So if I was a member of the ANC, I would be concerned about that, because Ramaphosa is in his last term, both in the ANC and in the government. And anything can happen, God forbid, if he's hit by the proverbial bus tomorrow. It means that the deal, the basis, the fundamental basis of the deal, which is surrounded by a single individual, will fall apart. I'm quite sure if something like that happened, if Ramaphosa said tomorrow I'm resigning or whatever, then the DA would pull out of the deal. So you can't have a political solution that is centered around one person who is the darling of the so-called markets, or a darling of big business and the funders, and the darling of the forces that represent apartheid. So that deal is going to collapse. It is fragile, it is senseless, it is politically bankrupt, and it is actually, it doesn't make sense for anyone who really cares about the ANC.